Hey guys, my name is Michelle and welcome back to my channel. This week is going to be another reading vlog, and if you guys haven't watched my previous vlog, basically my whole reading plans completely derailed, and when I left off from the vlog I ended it with me trying to figure out what's going to be the next read. Also, if you guys hear my neighbors outside, my bad. They're like having a small get together. Although they were arguing earlier, but now everyone's just like laughing and like hanging out, so like I hope everything's all right. Anyways, if you guys can hear them, sorry, you know, not much I can do. But anyways, last vlog I ended it with me trying to figure out what my next reading plans are gonna be, and I had a small little book haul, and I was kind of thinking, obviously I should probably pick from that haul instead of like, because you know, like, okay, people say that reading and buying books are two complete different hobbies, and it's so true because I love buying books, and I just reorganized my bookshelf too with some of the new books I've purchased, and it's just so fun, and I love filling up my library. And then when it comes to reading, I'm like, oh my god, what do I read? And to some people it's like, well, duh, Michelle, you're gonna read the books you just bought. But like, mind your business. Okay, I'm the type of person to buy 7 books and still be like, damn, what am I gonna read next? It's just different. It's just two different hobbies, okay? But going back to what I'm saying, you're not wrong. You're not wrong though. You're not wrong that I should read from the pile of books I just purchased. So I went ahead and decided to go with Craven Manor. And this book, we're following a guy named Daniel, and he's invited to this manor to be a groundskeeper, and it's haunted mansion type vibes. And it's September, guys. It's September 3rd. It's Halloween Eve month. So yeah, let's start the month with a spooky read. So we're gonna read Craven Manor. I'm excited because it's gonna be my first Darcy Coates book. In my previous clip I say that she's like Stephen King, but I don't mean it in a way of like writing wise or storytelling wise. I mean it like Stephen King literally has a dedicated bookshelves at like bookstores because he has so many horror books, and Darcy Coates literally has 2 or 3 shelves dedicated to her for her books because she writes hella books. So yeah, I'm excited to read a Darcy Coates book, so we'll see how this goes. And then the next book I picked up is a Kindle Unlimited book called Thrum. It just released. It's supposed to be like sci-fi horror romance. But a lot of people are split in half with the romance part of it. People are saying like, no dude, this is straight horror. Like a lot of horrific shit happens. Like a novella. Like it's only 120 pages long, I believe. And I'm like, damn, what could happen in 120 pages? But a lot can happen in 120 pages, so we'll see. A lot of people are really like split in half with the romance section because, like I was saying, people are like, this is horrific, how is this romantic? And other people are like, I can see how it's romantic, but like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm excited to dive into this book. In this book, we're following Amy, and she wakes up in this ship and she's all alone, and she sends out a distress call because she's like, where are my crewmates? What the heck is going on? I'm the only one left here. And then this being named Dorian finds her, and crazy shit happens. That's the synopsis, and I'm like, okay. So yeah, so these are the reading plans for now, is read Thrum and then Craven Manor. And yeah, I'm excited. We got 2 horror books to start the month with. I'm gonna start reading Thrum tonight, so I'll see you guys when I've read more into Thrum and give you all an update. Hey friends, so if you can hear my AC, my bad. But I'm meeting up with Nicole, and we're gonna get some Korean food at the H Mart food court. If you don't know what H Mart is, it's a farmer's market, and they have like different like food from all the countries that you just don't find in your normal grocery stores. And H Mart, they usually have like not just Korean food, but they also have like different, you know, different genres of food. That's not the right word, but my brain does not work today. I just got off work, so yeah, different varieties of food is what I meant to say at their food court, and it's really good. So we're just gonna get food there, and then we're gonna hit up Kinoyun. Oh my god, I don't know how to pronounce this. I don't know how to pronounce the store's name. It's the Japanese store that I went to in my last haul, in my last vlog. I think it's pronounced Kinokuniya bookstore. Probably butchering it. So sorry. We're gonna go there after dinner because Nicole wants a Sony Angel and I'm putting her on. I'm like, hell yeah. I also want another Sony Angel because I'm obsessed. So we're gonna do that. And yeah, I'm gonna try to film some B-roll. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. And now I'm just waiting for her to get here. She should be here any moment now. So I'm excited because I'm hungry. Your girl is hungry. I'm always hungry. Hey guys, this is my friend Nicole. I've talked about her a few times on here, but she agreed to do a Sony Angel unboxing.
We got the dinosaur series.
Yes, I'm excited. So,
all right,
let's unbox this.
Let's do it. Okay, this is my first Sony Angel too.
I'm trying to, you know, make her obsessed with me. Right?
Oh, on the count of three?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. And
I got the T-Rex! Oh my god! I wanted the T-Rex so bad!
Which one is this one? Wait.
That one is the It's the
Brachiosaurus!
Oh my god! And it has the little wings in the back.
That is so cute.
Stop! Nicole, I was like, I got the Triceratops, and I was like, oh, I want the T-Rex.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
It was meant to be then.
Look how cute.
They're best friends.
I love it. And they like complement each other like color wise.
Yeah, no, they're perfect.
Oh
they're
my
so
god. Hee. Yes.
So cute.
Yay.
I am satisfied.
Me too.
Yay.
This was a good little bookstore trip.
Yeah, a little
Food
bookstore
bookstore trip.
Little special treat at the end. I'm really happy. Yay. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey friends, so I have multiple reading updates. I finished Thrum and I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. Sorry guys, in the beginning it was very promising. It was giving that sci-fi horror feel. It was scratching that sci-fi itch I was having, especially after reading Project Hail Mary. The beginning did have that anxiety factor because the main character, Amy, she had to leave her ship, fix some stuff on the ship, and then there was just some anxiety-inducing things happening, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. And it really had me in the beginning up until the alien being Dorian comes in and he beams her up into her ship. After she sends a distress call, he shows up, beams her up, and I'm gonna try to keep this big so I don't spoil anything in case you guys don't want to read it. That's when it starts falling flat for me. That's when it just started falling apart for me. The book was marketed as part sci-fi, part horror, and part romance, and it was marketed by the author herself. She said there was romance, and y'all, I thought there was gonna be some crazy alien chemistry, you know what I mean, some like crazy alien but no. So I see why readers might see this book as a romance, but what I'm not sure of is why the author marketed this as part romance, because there was no romance in this book. There were 2 quote unquote intimate scenes, but they weren't, I don't know how to explain this. They weren't romantic. And I don't mean romantic like it didn't tickle my romantic bone. I mean, they were the scenes were kind of like, they were only there to show or I guess they were really there to amplify the mystery and the psychological like aspects of the story, because there was some sci-fi aspects to it, but as the story progressed, it just went away. So it wasn't even like sci-fi anymore. The horror was still there, and like I was just saying, the romance I feel like was just used to enhance the horror and to enhance the psychological thriller, because this book just became a psychological thriller like near the middle and end. And I don't know, it just fell apart. It just felt very flat for me. Like I was saying, the horror aspect was still there, but as soon as this story became a psychological thriller, I was just kind of like, I lost interest, and I immediately knew what the plot twist was gonna be, and I just wasn't. I was just kind of like, oh, okay. And oh, the landscaping people are here, so if y'all hear that, my bad. So yeah, I was really disappointed in that. I feel like if the story was longer, and if the author actually kind of maybe, I feel like the author might have dipped her toes in too many genres, because I mean the thought of a sci-fi horror romance sounded good. You know what, I think the problem is, now that I'm like, you know, my thoughts are kicking in, is that it was too short. It was only 120 pages long. I feel like if it was maybe 150 pages long, like I feel like if the book was an actual like, I feel like if the book was like maybe 300 pages, around that mark, I feel like the sci-fi horror romance aspect of it, like all three genres, could have been fleshed out more. But because it was only 120 pages long, and I feel like the author was dipping her toes in too many genres, it just kind of started falling flat. And then the aspect of certain genres just started kind of like failing. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well. Like I was saying, like in the beginning of the book, there was sci-fi, but as it seems like she was starting to shift her focus into like the horror psychological thriller aspect of the story, so then the sci-fi aspect of it got left behind. So I feel like if she had like written the book longer, I think it could have been fleshed out more. I didn't really understand Amy. In the book, she says that she's a scientist, but she says and does things that weren't what a scientist would do. And I was like, huh? Like, she's a scientist? I was pretty disappointed in that. 2.5 stars is my rating. Do I recommend it? If you guys want like a sci-fi horror short little book to read, go ahead. Then yeah, sure. I mean, I recommend it. But other than that, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I did go ahead. Oh my God, y'all. Anyways. Oh boy. I think y'all can probably hear that. All right, well, I'll just speak louder. So I did start Craven Manor. I am on page 67. Y'all, I don't know. Please release me from the shackles of these mid books. I'm struggling. I don't know what to say. Like, it's fine. It's not anything crazy. We're following Daniel. He's crashing at his cousin's house because he's having a hard time getting a job. He's struggling. And then he mysteriously got a letter that he got the job offer to be a groundskeeper at this manor, Craven Manor, this spooky abandoned manor. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing really much to say. It's just, I don't know. I'm not impressed, but I'm also not like hating on it. It's just vibes. So far, he was kind of beefing with his cousin because his cousin's like, yo, like, I get that, you know, you're looking for a job and you're working certain jobs and paying the rent, but like, you're not paying enough. So then he brings in one of his coworkers, not his coworkers, one of his friends, to basically live with them. So now it's 3 roommates, but then Daniel gets kicked out of his room and it's given to the friend. Basically, his cousin's being an asshole. And so Daniel decides to live at the groundskeeper cottage, which he had the option in the job offer letter. The letter was like, you know, the cottage is yours. So he was like, okay, fuck y'all, I'm leaving this place. I'm going to live at the cottage. So he's living there, and basically he the first night he tried roaming around the manor and it creeped him out. there's a cat. He tries feeding the cat. The way that the author was describing the cat, I'm like, is she a cat owner? And then I looked up the author and she is a cat owner. And I'm like, yeah, it was giving cat owner vibes. Not like in a derogatory way. I fucking love cats. I'm just saying, like, I could tell that the author loves cats because it was like 7 pages of her talking about this damn cat. And I'm like, she loves cats. And I don't blame her. I mean, look, I love cats too. I'm trying to get a cat right now. Okay? My husband will not make me into a cat mom. I've been arguing with him to make me into a cat mom. I'm waiting, okay? I'm ready to be a cat mother. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I'm not enthralled by the story, but at the same time I'm not like, ooh, this book sucks, but I'm gonna keep reading. Daniel seems nice. He kind of reminds me of my younger brother. I don't know why. I think it's because they have the same middle name. But he kind of like acts like him a little bit. Like, he's very like curious. My brother's a very curious person, so like I can totally see my brother being in the situation because he's such a adrenaline junkie, and he'd be like a groundskeeper in an abandoned haunted mansion. Hell yeah, he would do it. Like, he would 100% do it. So yeah, he reminds me of my younger brother. So yeah, it's just chill vibes. We'll keep reading, and I'm gonna give it until page 100. If I'm still kind of like meh, I'll probably DNF it. But yeah, I'm just a little disappointed because it's like, am I a picky reader? Like, I feel like maybe that's my problem, that I'm a picky reader. That's why these books are just not hitting for me. But I don't know. I don't want to think too deep into it. So I did pick up another book to read after finishing Thrum. I was watching one of my favorite booktubers, and I was watching one of her vlogs. So I was like binge watching her vlogs, and she read The Whispers of the Deep, and it's a merman x human monster romance, and I love me a good monster romance. And I was like, okay, you know, I'll pick it up. The reason why I picked it up is because she described it as like BioShock, and I love BioShock, y'all. BioShock is one of my favorite games. So when she said that it reminded her of BioShock, and like the way that the city under the water is described, because the main character, Mira, she is a a welder. She welds like a lot of like the tunnels and like a lot of like the buildings in the underwater city. So the booktuber, she described the city, it kind of like reminded her of Rapture in BioShock. Rapture is the city in BioShock. And I was like, sold, say less. Book reminds you of BioShock. If the setting reminds you of BioShock, I'm in, okay? I'm in, sold. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I'm reading it right now. I'm on page 35. So I didn't get too far, and I'm liking it so far. It's really, really interesting. It's already like, a lot of stuff is already happening off the bat. The main character, Mira, and then the merman, I don't know how to say his name, some merman name, Argus. They're like beefing with each other because in this world, the mer people hate the humans because the humans, you know, they built a city underwater, and it basically it's like colonization, right? They colonize mer people land, so the mer people are pissed. So the mer people and the humans don't fuck with each other, and so Mira, she's like fixing this like dome area, and she encounters one of the mermen, Argus, and he tries to kill her. Like, he literally tries to drown her, and then they get into a situation where they have to save each other, and they do. And I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be interesting. I'm hoping that this book will be good and kind of pull me out of this like weird reading rut that I'm in. I trust her taste. Like I said, the minute she mentioned BioShock and it reminded her of BioShock, I was like, okay, I'm reading this immediately. And now I want to play BioShock because I love that game. And yeah, so I don't know, maybe I'll play BioShock. Who knows? But yeah, so I'll update you guys when I read further into this. I don't know, I feel like this might be a DNF. The more I'm looking at this book, the more I'm like, but we'll see. I'll update you guys when I've read more chapters for each book. Hey friends, so I have several updates. Today is Tuesday, September 17th, and I don't remember the last time I updated, but I have several updates. So we'll start with the first one. I didn't bring it with me because it's downstairs and I forgot about it, and I'm already upstairs. I'm already recording. I don't feel like going back downstairs, but whatever, I'll just insert a picture here. I DNF Craven Manor. It was just, I know I said in my previous update that I was going to try to push through it because I was already like not feeling it. I just wasn't vibing with it, but I wanted to keep going just to see where the story goes. And after the update, I finished doing some other stuff and I went downstairs to start reading. Y'all, I only read one more page and then I was like, no, I'm not forcing myself to read something I'm not enjoying. Like, we're not doing that. So then I DNF'd it at 22%, I think. I'm not sure. And I went on Goodreads because that's what I usually do. Once I DNF a book, I immediately go to Goodreads and I read the spoilers to see, like, because I'm nosy. I want to see what happens, right? But I don't want to like read to see what happens. So yeah, it's just generic. It's a very, very generic haunted house story. There was nothing really like captivating about it or enthralling that made me want to keep reading. The main character, Daniel, he was giving very like basic main character vibes. The plot was very generic. The haunted house vibes was very generic. The plot twist that I read spoilers of, I was like, oh, I would have probably predicted this if I read like a few more chapters. After reading the spoilers, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm kind of glad I DNF'd it because like it just would have been whatever to me. I'm gonna start slowly compiling another unhaul pile, and I might film that because that video did really, really well. I think a lot of my new subscribers came from that video. I guess y'all love watching videos about people getting rid of their books. I mean, me too though. Something about unhaul videos, just like, I like those too. So yeah, so I might do another one later this year because I'm already like looking at my bookshelves and I'm like, I probably should have gotten rid of those like earlier this year when I did the unhaul. Anyways, definitely gonna unhaul that book later this year. So the question is, all right, Michelle, what have you been reading? Because the reading plan was Craven Manor, and I picked up Whispers of the Deep. I know I talked about that in my previous update. So far, I'm on page 183, which is 48% of the book, and y'all, I'm loving it. It's so much fun. Like that's the best way I can describe it. It's entertaining. Like it's fun. I love the world building. The lore in this is really, really good. The beginning did give BioShock vibes, and then it just kind of became its own thing. Near the middle of the book, we have like the mermen, or in this case, the humans call them the Undine. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong. And then the Undine call themselves the people of the sea. And yeah, so we're just like, we're basically witnessing like the Undine versus the humans. The Undine just wants to get rid of the humans, and you're just like, oh my god, like I get it though, because you know, colonization sucks. Boo, tomato, we hate colonization over here. So I'm like literally like, I'm on team mer people. Like I get y'all. I do. So we're following that like plot, and then obviously the main characters are like, I like you. And I'm just like, oh, okay. But yeah, nothing has happened as of yet. We're literally just watching Mira, the human, and Argus, the merman, just building the relationship because he did end up capturing her. And it's not like a spoiler because it's just something that happens literally like in the first few chapters. So while Mira's in her captivity, she's learning more about Argus. Argus is learning more about her. Another character jumps in, and he is, I love him so much. I'm not going to spoil that part because I feel like, you know, that's something you guys should experience. So I won't spoil that part, but another character does jump in. He's not like a major character. He's like a small minor character, but I don't know. He's like a sweet little surprise. Nothing crazy has happened in the book yet. It looks like we're going to start building up to that. They're just getting to know each other. And then there's like that pressure, that like sense of urgency, because this impending war of the humans against the mer people is about to happen. So you have like that buildup going in the background. And then, yeah, and then, you know, it's a monster romance. So we're just mostly focusing on the romantic aspect of it. But I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. And then I was already reading this alongside Craven Manor. So the next book I ended up picking up, which is, actually part of my physical TBR, so everybody clap for me, everybody be proud of me that I didn't go buy a new book, and that is House of Hunger. I'm on page 76. And if you guys don't know what House of Hunger is about, it's about a 20-year-old woman named Marion, and she lives in like the slums of the city called Prain. And the way the setting is described, it's giving Industrial Revolution, so around that time era. And she's like, I hate my life here, I hate everything here. She works as a maid for this rich lady, and you know, she gets mistreated, and she's like, I'm tired of living in the slums, I want more than this life. She only lives with her older brother, or is it oh my god, or is it her younger brother? I don't remember if it's older or younger, but she lives with her brother. Her parents died from tuberculosis like when they were children, so it's just been her and her brother. And unfortunately, you know, her brother is an alcoholic, he does drugs, and he is also very, very sick. And it's alluded in the book that he has like a sexually transmitted disease, because you know, he's had to like prostitute to help bring money in the household. Her brother unfortunately is abusive towards her. She suffers abuse at work from the lady that she maids for, and she suffers abuse at home from her brother. And one day she sees like an ad on a newspaper to be a blood maiden, and she lives in the southern region. So the way that I guess the country is described is south and north. So she's always saying, oh, here in the south it's bad, or southerners do this, this, and that, and then northerners believe in this, this, and that. So that's how like they're separated. So in the south, being a blood maid is considered to be worse than being a prostitute. So like if you were a blood maid in the south, well, first of all, blood maids are only a job up in the north, but if you're known to be a blood maid in the south, they really don't like you. They're like derogatory terms, slurs back and forth. They do not like you. So her friend Agnes was like, yo, do not take this job. You'll lose yourself. You're more than this. You have an honest job as being a maid. I mean, it doesn't pay all that great, but it keeps like, you know, food on the table, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I want something more than this. So she answers the ad on the newspaper, and yeah, we follow her journey as she travels up north to become a blood maid. And the way the lore is so interesting, because obviously the name of the book is called The House of Hunger, and it's because a lot of the noble families up north are separated into houses. So there's like House of blah 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 and House of blah blah blah, and the house that put the ad out for a blood maid was the House of Hunger, one of the remaining powerful houses of the north. And she gets the job, and so she moves up north. She abandons her past. She's like, screw y'all, I'm not about to live in the slums, and I'm not about to die in the slums, okay? Like, goodbye, y'all figure that out. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's a very gothic, atmospheric story, and it's vampires, and I love vampires, and I'm excited to see where the story goes. So far I'm enjoying both books that I'm reading. That's it on my reading updates. I do have another thing I wanted to share with you guys, and it's more of like a bookish unboxing, I guess you can call it, or bookish items that I got. First thing is I got the hardback version of 6 Scorched Roses. It just released today, and I pre-ordered this, and it comes with like this cool like designed hardback thing. And I love it. So I got this. And the next thing I'm excited to share with you guys is that Twilight books. I know it's gonna be really random. I've never owned them. I just purchased the hardback editions of the Twilight books only because I bought these beautiful hardback covers. I'll show you. Look how beautiful. Look at Jacob. He looks like an angel. Well, he has wings in the back, but like still. Eclipse. I'm obsessed with Breaking Dawn. Like, I don't know if I can zoom in, but look how beautiful Bella and Edward look. They're both vampires in this. I love it. Midnight Sun, and look at Edward. He looks so dorky in this. When I saw these on TikTok, I was like, oh, there's more reason to own the series, because growing up, like, we couldn't afford books. So I would just like obviously go to the school library, or my friends would let me borrow their books. So I read all the Twilight series through the library or borrowing books from my friends. And then I was like, damn, I need to own the series. Like, why haven't I ever purchased a series? I saw that TikTok, saw the covers. I was like, boom, there's my reason. So here's the box set. Here's Midnight Sun. I'm going to put those covers onto these books, and I'll show you guys in a second after I'm done doing that. All right, we're back. I just placed the new covers on the books, and I'm gonna go one by one. Look, there's Twilight. I wish the camera can pick it up better. It's just the gold foiling is very reflective. So sorry if y'all can't see that well, but that's Twilight. Here's New Moon. Eclipse. I think Eclipse is my favorite. It just looks so beautiful. The Breaking Dawn cover is my favorite. I want this framed on my wall. And then here's Midnight Sun. Like, it's so cute. Oh, it's heavy. Very cute. That's my little bookish unboxing for y'all. In the next clip, I should be done with both books. That should be my next update. So I'm hoping I can finish both books this week. I don't know. It's been a while since the last update. It's just so much happened. Like, I got sick and then blah blah blah, and I'm just over here like, oh, life be lifing, because life really do be lifing. I'll see you guys then. Hey friends, we made it to the end of the vlog. Today is September 28th. I have multiple updates. First and foremost, I am sick. I got with the colds, and it sucks because it completely derailed so many plans. And I just hate getting sick because it's like my life is on pause until I get better. And I actually got sick like twice, and then Aunt Flo came to visit me, and it just derailed a lot of like my reading plans as well. So unfortunately this month I took longer than usual to finish a lot of the reading I've been doing, but I did finish House of Hunger and Whispers of the Deep. So I'll go ahead and start with House of Hunger. I unfortunately am giving this, I think on Goodreads I gave it 2.5 or 3 stars. I don't remember, guys. Like, the brain don't work today. But I did end up giving this 2.5 to 3 stars. The writing is absolutely beautiful. The setting is just immaculate. I loved it. Alexis Henderson has beautiful writing, but the problem with this book is that as soon as her journey ventured from the slums and then she stepped foot into the House of Hunger, that's where everything became stagnant to me. Like, as soon as she reaches the House of Hunger, we meet the other blood maids, which were interesting. I did like the other blood maids that she met, but I didn't feel like those characters were fleshed out that well. And then Marion just started to feel very, very stagnant to me. And then she meets the Countess Elizabeth Bathory, and this story is heavily based off of the real life Countess Elizabeth Bathory, which, if you don't know about her, I do recommend reading up on her. It's like a really interesting story. Like, I'm not sure if it's been debunked. I know historians are like going back and forth if she really was like a serial killer drinking blood from young maidens. That's like her story, so I would definitely look her up. The Countess in this book is inspired by the real life Countess Elizabeth Bathory. Marion starts having a romantic relationship with her, and I don't know, it was just very insta-lovey, and I didn't really feel the chemistry there. So it just kind of like, everything just felt very, very flat to me as soon as Marion reached the House of Hunger. There were a lot of chapters where it was just a lot of meandering, like new maids have to go through tutoring and learning about the history of the different houses of the North. And it was interesting, and it was definitely a way for the author to info dump. And which is fine, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to like build your world, but like, I don't know, it just wasn't working for me personally. I just felt like I needed more oomph to everything, and everything was just
flat, and it did end up picking up in the last 50 pages. It just got batshit crazy, and even then the ending didn't leave me satisfied. So the whole time I was just kind of like bored, unfortunately, and I just really wanted the story to finish. It felt like it was slogging a lot in different places, but I do appreciate the themes that were explored here. We definitely explore themes of racism and classism, and Alexis Henderson does a really good job explaining these themes, but at the end of the day, the story itself just fell flat. I know in the previous clips I mentioned that they were vampires. I think I might be wrong. It's not explicitly said that they're vampires in this book. Elizabeth herself, the Countess, she has like these golden canines that she puts in like grills that she uses to drink from her blood maidens. But other than that, it isn't like explicitly said that she is a vampire. But the way that she's described and the way that her, I guess her lineage is described is that they're not also fully human. It just wasn't very fleshed out well. Like, I wish that we had more of like lore to her, like why a lot of the lords of the North needed to drink their blood. Like, I know in the book itself it said that they drank it for health reasons and youth reasons, but like that's where it ended and wasn't like explained any further. So I wish we had more explanation and explored that more, because it's like, I don't know if she's human or if she's a paranormal creature, or I don't know, maybe she's a metaphor for something, or maybe she's just a metaphor of how the rich just suck the life out of everybody. Since, you know, the themes is classism, that could be it. That could be the theme. I don't know. It's just unfortunate because, like I said, I love the setting. I love the premise. Everything was just amazing. Again, the writing was spectacular. It was just, I guess like the characters themselves just kind of drag the story down. I do recommend it, but unfortunately I am gonna rate it like a 2.5 to 3 stars. I did manage to finish was Whispers of the Deep. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 4 stars. Honestly, it was pure vibes for a monster romance. I'm not saying all monster romances are like that. For this particular monster romance, the world building was top notch. We had human history, like reasons why humans had to abandon the surface and go down into the sea. We had fractions, like we have gamma, beta, alpha. Those are 3 different fractions in the human civilization that's underwater, and they each do different things. And it was just like, the world building was done very well. And when I was reading some of the Goodread reviews, people were saying like, oh, there were some plot holes here, some retcons there. I'm like, dang, well, the author, Emma Hamm, she did such a good job that I didn't even like notice. I didn't even notice it, because usually I can pick up when there's like a plot hole or something. I was just enjoying myself. I was just reading, enjoying myself. So if there's any plot holes I missed, I didn't see it. I really enjoyed both of our characters. Argus? I never learned how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna say Argus. That sounds better, Argus. I loved Argus and Mira. They were their own individual characters. I know sometimes when I read some romance books, sometimes one of the love interests just is one-dimensional, falls flat. The other one is like either doing too much or not enough. Nah, they were both like their own individual persons, their own personalities. They both stood out to me. I absolutely loved them both. Mira is such a like badass, and she's so smart and intelligent, and Argus, he's so like hard-headed. There was times where I'm just like, stop, listen, shut up and listen. But I still loved him. He is just very caring and very loving with Mira, so I really love them both. The way that this story works is kind of a lot of other romances. We're going to explore the next couple in book 2, and it looks like it's going to be an overarching plot. There's 3 books. The 3rd one comes out in November, so I'm excited for that. It is going to be an overarching plot within those 3 books while we explore different couples. In the 2nd book, we're going to be exploring Argus's brother, Deos. I think it's his name, Deos. He's very like violent, hard-headed, like he wants the humans to die. Just a recap from my previous clip, the people of the sea hate the humans because the humans basically colonized their underwater land, and they want to get rid of them. And that's why Argus kidnapped Mira, and Mira's like, listen, I'm just an engineer, you got the wrong people. But I love how their relationship is explored and how their relationship blossomed throughout the book. And there were moments where there was a lot of dread because, you know, you're under the sea. Y'all, the sea is not explored as much as space is, and the deep sea scares me. And I think the author did a really good job describing that dread every time Mira was just like stuck in that deep sea. And I would just like get anxious. I'm like, oh my God, I would hate to be stranded deep down in the sea like that. Like, I don't know, y'all, the deep sea is scary. Yeah, without spoiling anything more, it's a great time. The world building is top notch. The relationship is top notch. I recommend it. I gave it 4 stars. There were some moments where it did like get a little boring, and I'm like, let's move the plot, y'all. Let's move it. Let's keep it going. But other than that, it was a great time. I'm definitely gonna pick up book 2, which is Song of the Abyss, and I'm looking forward to reading book 2. Now, what are the reading plans for the next vlog? I don't know what they are. I'm such a mood reader, guys. Like, I have so many books on my TBR. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm interested in reading Vicious by V.E. Schwab. That one has been described to me as like villains with X-Men. And I'm like, I love X-Men. Let me read that. And it's on Kindle Unlimited. Another book I want to read is Nettle and Bone. That one is, I don't remember the summary for that one. I do know that there's an animal companion, and it's short and sweet, and the main character goes on this journey. I'm like, ooh, that sounds really, really fun. So there's that. And I did get a library hold in, which is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which is like a cozy, witchy book. I'm like, oh my God, I have so much to read. I don't know which one to pick. So I need to figure out which of those books I want to read. I should probably start with a library hold. But yeah, guys, this September has been a little rough with me health-wise, but I'm really hoping that October is a better month. It is my birthday month. October 4th, I will be turning 30 years old. That's really crazy to say out loud, but I'm very thankful that I get to see 30. I'm gonna make a separate video that isn't a reading vlog. I think I wanted to talk about just like books I've read growing up, books that have shaped me into the person that I am. I think that'd be a fun video to make. Other than that, I am gonna let y'all go so I can take some medicine. And the new Legend of Zelda game came out, which is Echoes of Wisdom. I played that a little bit yesterday. It was a lot of fun, so I'm definitely gonna be playing that. Another video game I've been playing is Obscure, which is an old PS2 game that is on Steam. It's a co-op horror game that I've been playing with one of my best friends, and I'm having a blast. And yeah, I mean, that's all I've been doing, and I'm ready for this cold to go away so my life can go back to normal. If you guys made it to the end of this video, leave a mermaid emoji. I will see you guys in the next vlog.